Our next question comes from the line of Bruce Martin as a follow-up question from SportsIllustrated.com. Please go ahead.
Yes, I earlier had a question for Bob Parsons that I didn't get a chance to ask. Bob, I know that speaking with Michael Andretti, he's hopeful that GoDaddy can continue some type of relationship with the team. And where does that stand, and are you interested in having a presence in that series?
Well, we believe IndyCar is very important to us. I mean, we cut our teeth in racing with IndyCar. It's been excellent for us, and Danica has been excellent for us. So, and also IndyCar has the CEO there, Randy Bernard. We're really encouraged with the changes he's been making to make the sport more exciting, or the racing circuit more exciting, and what also I think he's going to do in the future. So that being the case, I believe that we're looking to stick with IndyCar, and tomorrow we're going to make a special announcement in connection with that. So that's what I have to say.
Our next question comes from the line of David Newton with ESPN.com. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Danica, can you tell us what your car number is going to be for your Cup car? Do you think you can get the number 7 from Robbie Gordon? And second, you mentioned your 2012 plans, but in 2013, are your plans to drive full-time Cup for Stewart-Haas?
At this point in time, the number is undecided. Obviously, I've had the lucky number 7 for a while, and that will continue with Junior Motorsports in the nationwide program, obviously. But Cup, we're not sure yet. I'm open to anything, but again, there's so many details that we have to finalize, and there'll probably be little announcements all along the way for a while about various things, and I'm sure that will be one of them. What was the second part of your question? 2013 in Sprint Cup. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, I would really like to do that, but at this point in time, it's a partial Sprint Cup season with Stewart-Haas right now.
Our next question comes from the line of Bob Puckras, a follow-up question with SceneDaily.com. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Danica, I was curious, is this decision more about IndyCar and what you couldn't get there, or more about NASCAR?
What was that? Could you repeat that, please?
I said, is this decision more about the way things were going and your happiness in IndyCar, or more about how you felt about NASCAR?
I made this decision because of how much I enjoy driving stock cars and how much I enjoy, in particular, racing stock cars. The races are so interesting. There's so many pit stops. There's so many strategies that play out. You have to take care of your car at times. You have to know when to push with it. You can kind of throw them around a little bit and overcome some handling issues. You can bump around, which is pretty fun. And I just really had fun with it. So it's really about enjoying the racing and enjoying the people and enjoying my life when I'm at those races and everybody around me.
Our next question comes from the line of Bran James with i.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, Danica, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Who was the last person you either confided in or consulted before making this decision, and just sort of describe that last conversation before, making this new career path?
That was probably my husband, I'm sure. I've been thinking this way for a while, but these things take time and they're complicated, as I've said. I think I've said those exact words many times. But I'm sure it was my husband. He's very good at looking into the future and giving good perspective on things, and that's probably who I talked to. But I have to say that the decision in and of itself was really it was about what my heart told me to do. And then it was about what Bob said we could do. So, between those two things, we were able to make it come together.
Our next question, a follow-up question from the line of Goodwin Kelly, The New Journal. Please go ahead.
Hey, Danica, I'm down here in Daytona, and I think they've got prayer circles going
wondering if you're going to be in the 500. Do you want to run the 500? And also, since you made your NASCAR debut in Daytona, what does Daytona mean to you?
I have definitely enjoyed going to Daytona, that's for sure. I've done, 4 races there now, the ARCA race and then 3 nationwide races. So I really like it. I thought I had a great shot to win at the end of the race in July or June. Confused, June, I think. But, that's just one of those things that we haven't completely decided yet. I don't know. What do you think, Bob?
Well, I think there's a possibility.
There you go.
Our next question comes from the line of Dustin Long with Landmark Newspapers. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Danica, could you just assess the progress you've made in stock cars, although obviously what you've done has been less than a full season so far, than the time combined, and also talk about what you'll be looking to do the last remaining nationwide races when you do those later this season, please?
Well, as far as progress goes, I guess everyone has their own opinion on that a little bit. But I know that, I feel more comfortable in the car. Obviously, I got with the bump drafting thing at Daytona, which will be a Daytona and a Talladega thing. And I feel like I've gotten better on the short ovals, which I think is the one that I need the most amount of work on. And the 1.5 miles are, coming around as well. I mean, it's a typical learning process. It goes fast at the beginning, and then it will, I'm sure, inevitably kind of taper off and be a slow learning after that. But like you said, I still haven't done a full season of nationwide racing, and so I'm still in that very much that learning phase. So. I feel more comfortable every time I get in the car, and I think that's kind of a good sign of my progress and the reflection on the track.
Our next question comes from the line of Dwight Drum with RaceStake.com. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Danica, now that's a big question that's been put to rest. What do you think is going to be the most common, more common questions, or if you have an idea what common questions you're going to be facing now from the media and even from fans going forward?
I don't know. I was just pretty excited to cross that hurdle of what are you going to do next year? Are you going to go race IndyCar or NASCAR? So I haven't really thought about what the next persistent question will be. I guess that will develop over time. I suppose it depends on what's happening. With me outside of the car, what's happening with events have happened, but I'm sure I'll get quite a few questions for a while about IndyCar, about NASCAR, and about reasons, and still about the future a little bit, because some of it is still undecided, and, as I said, we were signing contracts to the last minute, so we're announcing everything as soon as we can, but there will be more news to come throughout the rest of the year, I'm sure.
Our next question comes from the line of Doug Demmons with the Birmingham News. Please go ahead.
Yes, Danica. I have a two-part question. First, what is it about IndyCar that you think that you'll miss the most? And secondly, given how well you've adapted to plate racing, are you looking forward at all to your debut at Talladega?
Yeah, I was about the Talladega one first, because I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to race it at any point. I think that would have been a really fun experience to have. But obviously I got a good taste of something of what it's like at Daytona. So I'll be excited to go there. Barber Motorsports Park is a place that we race at in IndyCar, and that was nearby. So I actually think that the race was almost the same weekend this year, maybe. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. And, I'll miss an IndyCar. I mean, I'll miss some of the venues. I'll miss some of the people for sure. And, if I don't know if I will I don't know about if the fans will continue to follow me, but I hope so. I hope that I don't lose any of those fans that have followed me for a long time in IndyCar and been awesome supporters of mine and cheered me along for through the thick and through the thin. And, hopefully they continue to watch me and continue to cheer for me in NASCAR.
Our next question comes from the line of Dan Deeker with WKPY Radio. Please go ahead.
Hi, Danica. First off, if you could talk about the sponsorship when teams are suffering with the economy nowadays, trying to find and knock down that sponsorship. Talk about the sponsorship and the comfort you have on GoDaddy.com, and then if you could talk about the easier transition you're going to have now that you've got your feet wet running in the nationwide schedule.
Well, I'm clearly very lucky to be able to have a sponsor like GoDaddy that really sticks with me, no matter what it's been, whether it's been IndyCar or partial nationwide or now full-time nationwide and some Sprint Cup. They've been there for me, and that's a rare thing. I mean, great drivers who are performing really well struggle to keep sponsors, and they've been with me, and it means a lot. And I think we've had a lot of fun together. We've had a lot of fun over the years with our commercials, and we've shared successes along the way too as we've both become bigger brands over time. So I always have found that the most important thing with a sponsor is that they're willing to activate on the other side. It's one thing to sponsor you and put the name on the side of the car and paint it out in its beautiful green and orange, but it's another thing when a sponsor actually does something about it. And GoDaddy's always been so good about putting me in commercials and really using me for the platform that I have. And I think that's why the relationship really works, because it's a win-win for both of us. It's not just the name on the side of a car and I get to go racing. It's we're using each other's platforms for much bigger things. I can't say I hate being in those Super Bowl commercials when 98 million people are watching. That's a pretty good thing. So it's a two-way street.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder to register for a question, please press the 1 followed by the 4 on your telephone. And our next question comes from the line of Claire Lang, a follow-up question with Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Please go ahead.
Thank you. A quick follow-up on 2 points. One, Danica, how hard was this decision for you to make? How difficult for you to make? And second, there are some, and it's fun to watch you overcome what people say you can't do, that the full season of Nationwide would be somehow physically grueling, that would be very difficult for you to do. Can you address those two things?
Well, the decision it was hard. Of course it was. This is a big change, but I think in the end it became clear. It's a tough decision overall, but it became clear to me how much I really enjoyed driving these cars and the style of racing and everybody involved. So it became clear. It really did. And then as far as overcoming, what people think I can't do, I don't know. I don't consider myself necessarily this big underdog that people root against or don't think I can do it. At least they don't say that to me. But I suppose it's something I've been doing for quite a while. So I don't know. I'm just doing what I love to do and what I learned to do from a young age. And my parents never really let me think of myself as a girl in racing. They just wanted me to be the best. And I think that really has made a difference in my life, that I don't think of myself as being so much different. It's just I have a challenge and I need to overcome it, and I need to accomplish what my goals are. And that's why when I accomplish something, it's the feeling of relief for me, because I already thought I could do it.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We're going to wrap up the teleconference for now. Bob and Danica, if you could.
Let's see this GoDaddy car.
Let's do it.
GoDaddy.